Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to NSA SoCal. We've got an exclusive interview today with Pat Dwyer. My name is Sam Osborne. I'm the Director of Marketing for NSA SoCal. And if you are coming this Saturday, December 6, 2025, you are in for a treat with Pat Dwyer's in-person workshop called Huge Improvement. Pat, how are you today, mate?
Brother, I am doing peachy. How about that? I am peachy.
What's PT?
Oh, peachy, like a peach in Georgia, like everything
Oh,
is just all right.
okay.
Yeah.
Not peachy, but PT.
Well, PT is like when you bust your back or something. No, this
All
is
right.
peachy. Yeah, yeah. No, I hopefully no more PT for me in my lifetime. That would be great if that
All
didn't happen.
right. Nice.
Yeah.
All right, Pat. Pat, it's a pleasure to meet you. I've got a couple of questions just to, you know, preview the event on Saturday. I tell you what, a lot of people talking about this. We're really looking forward to it. So, Pat, look, you've worked with some of the greats. You've worked with Second City, Comedy Sports, Just for Laughs. What's one memory from those years that still cracks you up?
There are tons of them. There are I think my favorite memories though are all the backstage moments where we get to be real people with each other and make each other laugh. And those will remain my favorites. I mean, the one that there's a couple that come to mind. One is backstage at Comedy Sports once there was a guy who liked to do magic, and he would do it was very, very good magic. But when he would do it, there would be another performer back there who would always pop out of nowhere and just scream witch. And he would scream witch at the top of his lungs and really make a big deal. And we got in trouble a couple times because the audience heard us screaming backstage to the point that they were like, "You can't be screaming witch back here." We're like, "Well, he's a witch. It's not our fault that that guy is a witch. We're just trying to do what we got to do to get by." I think, other things that would certainly be fun is actually, you know what? I don't ever, I don't like name dropping, but I'll tell you this one story who I've never told this story before, but I'll tell you. And I guess I'll tell everyone who's listening too, now that I'm
Yeah.
realizing it. I was doing for IO Theater in Chicago. They had a 25th anniversary show, and they had asked me to be a stage manager, the assistant stage manager for it. And it was my job to meet all the performers as they come in, and this is everybody who ever went through IO. So, it was a huge cast. Dave Keckner, Horatio Sands, Tina Fey was there, Amy Poehler, Rachel Dratch, Andy Dick, like all these like pretty big names. And I was chatting with see, and now I'm gonna start forgetting names. I was chatting with one of the performers, and Mike Myers was coming towards me down the road. So again, Mike Myers, for those who might not remember, was of course Wayne from
Yep.
Wayne's World, or Austin.
Austin Powers.
Yeah.
Yep.
So he came towards me down the ramp with his little bit of an entourage, and I was like, "Oh, Mr. Myers, I got to get you a microphone." And he goes, "Oh, no, no, you can call me Mike." I was like, "Sure, okay, Mike. I don't care. I got to get you a microphone." And he was like, "Yeah, that's fine, as long as we don't have to do scenes with that dumb Tim Meadows who was standing. He was the guy I was talking to." And I was like, "Oh yeah, Tim Meadows, what a jerk." And then we both looked at him and we're like, "Ha ha." But Tim Meadows didn't hear us do the bit. And so I looked at Mike Myers and he was like, "We should do it again." I was like, "What?" He's like, "The whole thing." And I was like, okay." And he went back up the ramp and came back down with his group, and we did the same bit verbatim but louder.
Yeah.
And that was one of the weirdest. It was like, "Oh yeah, I guess I'm doing bits now with people who are not in my income bracket." That's a fun. That's
That's cool.
Yeah. So that was like probably like the coolest, one of the coolest, weirdest memories. I mean, there's lots of little things that like, I was around with a lot of people who um are doing pretty well for themselves, I'll say, like old friends that are doing pretty well. Yeah, actually, last time I was at Second City, so Second City has this thing now called the artistic board. And it's basically like, how can we use their brand equity to make ourselves look better, right?
Yep. Yep.
So Second City has a bunch of like famous people on this thing, and they happened to be in the audience that night that I was there, and just seeing my friend show, who's now my old director for our sketch show, is now the head of artistic direction for Second City. And so she had her show, that she had directed, and we went to go see it as a big group, and we hadn't seen each other for a few years, so it was really nice to be there together. But then there's all these people that we all knew, and I walked up behind a couple of my friends, and was just like, "Who let you in here?" But they didn't know, of course, that I was there, and so they turned around and was like, "Oh, Dad!" What?" And it's so because it's Second City and IO and Comedy Sports. It's very much like college. It's like all of us were in our early 20s,
Yeah.
all acting like dinging bats together. We all just like used to get trashed on each other's couches. So it's it's like a
Sounds great.
oh, it was awesome. It's like a really terrible frat party all the time.
Yeah.
Really what it is. Yeah.
Oh, Pat, thank you for that. Great story. All right. Pat, what's one improv principle that immediately makes a speaker more engaging?
The number one rule that I can possibly say would be this is not an I conversation, this is a we conversation. And if you can walk into your programs thinking that you're not there for yourself, you're going to make a massive impact on your audience. And I think I mean, speakers are, we can be pretty egotistical. Let's be honest with ourselves. People don't get in this thinking they don't have something to say. But if you can be there for that audience before you're there for yourself, you're going to already create an environment that creates an impact. And I think that's a huge deal.
What drew you from the comedy world into leadership and speaker development?
Money? No, I don't. No.
The fame and glory.
Yeah, I mean, come on now. No, it was so I was in comedy after doing the Peace Corps. There's a much longer story there, which we'll certainly get into when we see each other this coming week. But or I guess this week. It's this week. What am I talking
Yeah, yeah.
Um, but I wanted to continue to do what I was doing. We had kids and I needed to figure out a new thing to do. Met somebody from Vistage who was like a main networker and it basically said like, dude, you need to be a speak. You're so good at like talking and relating to people, different ideas. I really think you should be a speaker. And I, not knowing what that was and being myself, was like, yeah, it sounds great. Let's try that. Let's see what that's all about. And then
Nice.
that was I don't know what 2017, 2019, something like that. Like right before COVID, so
Yeah,
2019. Yeah.
yeah. If improv had an ugly sweater, what would it look like? Being
What
that
would
it's
it,
Christmas
probably
in
my
like a
face. It would
month.
just be my gross face everywhere, right? Just like on a sweater, maybe with like a Christmas hat on it. I think it would probably be a really ugly sweater that just had an empty. You know that moment when you're on stage and you think you're going to say something that's really funny and it's just not, and then you just stare. That moment where you stare at the audience and they stare at you, and you're waiting for them to love you for just that
Yeah.
moment. Yeah, that's that sweater. That's whatever that sweater is. That's the one.
Pat, give us a a sneak peek of what's one thing people are going to walk away from this Saturday that they can use in their very next talk.
I hope that they walk away with any number of things, but the one thing that I think that they absolutely will walk away with is how to actively engage your audience in a way that doesn't just get them interested in the material, but gets them interested in you. So much so that they can't disconnect you from the material, so that it becomes live theater instead of just a download of information.
Nice and wise. Thank
I
you.
mean, we'll see where it goes. Yeah,
Yeah,
come, be the judge. Tell me how bad I am at my job. This will be great.
brilliant. We'll bring tomatoes or however you want to say it in this country.
Yeah, we'll
But
call it off. It's all right. Don't worry
yeah,
about it.
cool. Pat, thank you so much for your time today, and we look forward to seeing you on Saturday. I'll be there. There's going to be a whole bunch of people there. This is also our annual holiday celebration, so it's going to be fun, and we're going to have Pat there. And if you're a speaker, you don't want to miss this. This is going to be tons of fun. It's at the West Drift Manhattan Beach Hotel. It's on December 6th. We start at 9 a.m., goes to 12 o'clock. Pat, thank you again. We'll see you on Saturday.
Thanks, Sam.